Well, then let me be clear. Maybe if I can clarify. You see, what happens is that when the earthquake happened in Venezuela in June 24th, it was the day, the celebration of St. John the Baptist for his birth. This was something that was celebrated to the entire Catholic world, not just in Venezuela. But because the earthquake happened on the same day they were celebrating Venezuela, many fanatical denominations, not Protestant, what they call non-Catholic groups, were attacking them, accusing them of witchcraft, accusing them of practicing African religions, and basically saying is the fault of Venezuelan people because of that happened. And the problem here is this: when people see that people of African descent or even dark-skinned peoples are worshiping in a different way, not according to European traditions, people get very uncomfortable. People get very, very uncomfortable. And the thing is that in like say Monaco, let's say France, let's say Spain, when they were also celebrating, nobody's attacking them. But all they're doing is online showing people playing with music with drums, um, you know, praising God in a different way that they're used to. It makes them very uncomfortable. When Pope Leon the 14th, when Pope Leo the 14th went to Africa, he was greeted by African Catholics who sang in their traditional African attire, who sang in their traditional African hymns, not very much like a traditional Latin Mass, because I'm a traditionalist in the Latin branch, but the Catholic Church is made up of 24 different churches with different ways of worship. So here's the deal, is that when it comes in the Christian world, not just Catholic, I'm talking about many different denominations. When a person worships differently, especially if they're a different color, it is considered satanic for some odd reason. Okay. And instead of trying to help the people, because there's people who are still stuck underneath that rubble to this day, 10 days later, that they're still being brought up from underneath the rubble and still saving people. And they're trying to bring food and they're trying to find people and find their loved ones who are missing and everything else. The first thing that they do is try to criticize. They're not helping, they're not sending money. All they do is criticize. Okay? Nothing. You can talk to the four winds and say that you believe, but that does not help you. Telling the four winds that you believe, that you have faith, that you believe in God, but do nothing about it is not going to save you, and it's definitely not going to save somebody else, especially not bringing help that they needed. You could have sent $1. You could at least send a prayer, but no, you don't want to do that. At least send good feelings, but you do not want to do that. And every second counts, because it could be seconds from saving someone's life, or even a child's life, or even an animal's life, versus spending your time days upon days accusing of the Venezuelan people of witchcraft just because they were celebrating with African rhythms and African drums. Are there groups out there that are kind of use Catholic imagery, like the Santeros and the Candombles, which are African religions? Yes, but that's not us. And they even said it, that they're not Catholics. They just have a different way of doing things, but that does not represent the whole. And there is a problem within Christianity that when it's starting to spread throughout the globe, okay, the problem is that people are trying to push the European ethno replacement theology agenda. It has to be according to their music and to their ways and to the ways of singing. Even within my own people and in the Colombian people, because I have a Colombian channel, I have to defend the indigenous against my own, because there's sometimes the indigenous people will worship in their way, in their language, with their music, and the first thing they get accused of being Satanists. Why? Because they speak a different language, because the dark